Lesson 5. The importance of the voice. You've heard some voices that have a lot of magnetism, others that don't seem to have any. Many people don't understand, don't appreciate how important the voice is as a mechanism for conveying not only their ideas, but their magnetism, their conviction, their feeling. The voice instantly reflects the emotions that a person feels, the state of consciousness. You can feel a person's peace in the tone of his voice. You can feel anger, you can feel pride, you can feel irritation, you can feel love. All of these things the voice can express. And most people, unfortunately, treat the voice and language itself as sort of a beast of burden for their ideas. In fact, the quality of the voice needs to be consciously developed. One thing that can help you to develop a more magnetic voice, it's a technique that I heard years ago, and I found at that time that it helped me enormously, was to speak falsetto for a while. Sounds funny, but it brings the voice up, and then after that it tends to move around more easily. Especially in the patterns of speech in America, there's a tendency here for people to speak somewhat monotonously. I went to town yesterday and I had a very good time. Now you say that in another language and it sounds altogether different. Sono andato in città ieri e ho goduto molto. Tutto quello che ho fatto. The mind, the body, the voice, everything seems to move up and down with it. Even in England, when they speak like that, they say, "I went to town yesterday. I had a wonderful time." There's much more of the lilt. The American monotone is something that's very unmagnetic, and what it expresses is sort of an emphasis on common sense and down-to-earth reality and practicality and so on. All of this good, but a leader needs more than that. Magnetism in the voice has to be expressed through the modulation of the voice, through the tone of the voice. Somebody will say, "I'm having a great time." Doesn't sound like he's having a great time, does it? You say, "I'm having a wonderful time, having a great time," and you put something in your voice to say that, and you feel the difference. I remember going to hear a friend of mine, Herb Jeffries, who sang with Duke Ellington, and he was doing a recording with Stan Kenton in Hollywood many years ago, and he asked me to come and listen to this recording of himself singing Flamingo. And I was so impressed. I don't think the song is very much, and I'm not very much into that kind of music, but the enthusiasm with which he sang was so magnetic that it made you feel it was the most wonderful song in the world. Well, talk that way too. You don't have to sing it. Talk with warmth in your voice. Put your heart into your voice. Try to feel as if when you speak, your sounds were coming from a level of the heart. There's much more to it than that. You know, people who speak magnetically also they have a conscious use of language. They don't just speak in monotones. They develop their vocabulary. A leader has to be somebody who knows how to use words. He doesn't have to be, I'm wrong in saying that, but it's a great help to be. To develop your ability to speak well, to learn grammar, so that you can speak clearly. Grammar is not just a convention. Grammar is a means that people have discovered for saying exactly what you mean instead of being ambiguous. If you can learn to say what you mean, if you can learn to say it attractively, there's another importance to vocabulary. And you know, the English language is particularly rich in vocabulary. It has several times more words than any other language in the world, because it's the confluence of many, many different streams of language. The Scandinavian, the Anglo-Saxon, the French, the Latin and Greek, the Celts and the Picts and the Scots and all the people indigenous, plus all the languages that were brought, words from different languages from around the world, plus the fact that English is that kind of a language that can adapt itself to foreign words and make them sound like its own, which many languages resist. So English is a very rich language, and where other cultures will obtain the same clarity of meaning by the intonation of speech, the high or low quality, the emphasis that they give certain words and so on. We can get by even just with the choice of words, but look at how rich our language is if we can use not only choice of words, using just the right word, but then also saying it in just the right way, so as to get our point across. Don't underestimate the importance of speech in your endeavor to develop magnetism in your leadership. I grant you that a person can be practically illiterate and still be a magnetic leader. A person can be very unliterary and still be a magnetic leader. He can be very monotonous, and especially maybe if he's a captain on a secret errand for the army or something, that monotony may actually be effective as a means of getting people really to shut up and listen and follow. But basically speaking, we have to say that these things will enhance your leadership, and that just because somebody is an effective leader in one way doesn't mean that he's effective in all ways. This is a way of helping to round out that totality of leadership that we're talking about, and make you magnetic on all levels. You know, there are some people who, the moment you hear their voices, you think, oh, what a nice voice. Other people, their voices are sort of unpleasant, they're irritating. Well, why not develop that kind? You can. You can develop an attractive voice. You can develop an attractive way of talking to people so that you don't make them feel that you were bludgeoning them with your ideas and your convictions and being dogmatic about it, but that you like them, that you're inviting them, you want to get them to join you in an adventure that will be mutually satisfying. All of this, if you can inject into your voice, will say 10 times more than anything you can express in actual words. They'll hear you, and not even knowing what you're wanting to say, they'll be already inclined to go along with you. There is possibly something more to be said here, and that is that the tone of the voice helps also to project your consciousness in the right way. The voice is a very quick way of self-analysis. As soon as you see, you may not notice in your mind certain changes of consciousness, but if you can hear them in your voice, quickly you can see, oh, there's something I'm not thinking right. If there's a certain tension there, a certain irritation, whatever it might be. And if, on the other hand, you project your voice in a harmonious way, it will be one way of helping you also to project your thoughts and your energy harmoniously, so that on the wings of your voice you will find your energy flies to accomplish far more than it would if you discounted this very, very important aspect of your self-expression.